What's up, everybody? It's KFabian27. I'm Keegan, and today I'm going to be answering the question that we're all wondering: can 100 men fight a gorilla? So when you really think about it, we have an overwhelming advantage here in the space of numbers. Okay. However, some people are still under the belief that a gorilla has enough power to overcome that. I simply disagree. I think the numbers are way more effective here, and I'm going to explain to you how exactly that is. So let's say we have 100 men with no tools, okay? No tools. I feel like that's unfair. If we had one man and an axe, I think we could figure a way out to beat him. But let's say 100 men, no tools, bare hands, okay? I think there's a way of doing this without a single casualty. Of course, there is a high likelihood someone dies, but there's a chance you pull this kind of plan off with no deaths, okay? Let me explain this to you. George the monkey, and there's his tail. Okay, we got George, okay? Now, George is a big dude, but let's say it's an empty room. There's no resources around, okay? Nothing we can use. This is what we do, okay? The first plan, for the first 5 minutes, run around in circles, okay? We run around and we stay as far away from George as possible. Let him run, get tired. But we're, of course, going to get tired in those 5 minutes as well. But we're going to get sweaty, okay? And hear me out. I know that sounds gay, 100 sweaty men, but listen, you need the sweat because it'll make it harder for them to grab you, okay? Because gorillas, they don't throw punches, okay? They just kind of slam and grab things, okay? So if they can't grab you because you're sweaty, you're at an advantage, okay? So now we got 100 sweaty dudes, and what we're going to do is we're going to separate into teams, okay? I think we're going to need 20 for the first round, okay? So we're going to have 20 men, and what they're going to do is they are going to run and slide tackle him, okay? And let's say he's got his two big arms, right? And then his legs over there. Because you know how they be like, hey, 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 hey. So what you're going to do is we're going to go out for the legs first, okay? We go out for the legs. And after we take out the back legs, okay? All of them are slide tackling to take out the back legs here. We're going to have both legs taken out. Because via slide tackle method, Let me demonstrate with Santa Claus here. Let me demonstrate. You slide tackle. The man comes down, right? But 20 men, with 20 men, you can kind of get around the back of him, hold his legs down like this, you feel me? And this looks gay, okay? I understand. It looks gay. But just hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. Ow. After you get him down like that, what you're going to want to do is we're going to send in the next team, okay? And the next team is going to be positioned over here, okay? This is going to be another 15, 20-ish men, okay? Let's say 15 for now, okay? 15 men. That's a terrible 5. There we go. 15 men. They're going to hop up on top of him, and they're going to start hitting him from the back. On his head, on the back of his head. Let me clarify. That did sound kind of gay. Once again, the back of his head, okay? They're just going to start beating the crap out of the back of his head, okay? So he's going to get concussed sooner or later. And these are just average dudes, okay? Both of these average dudes. These can be some bigger guys, like fat. Not talking about muscle. These are just large, fat guys. And over here, we're going to have we can have a mix, okay? These are average dudes. None of them are going to be skinny, though, because this next group is going to be the skinny battalion, okay? So all of these guys are now positioned over here. So you don't have to worry about these 20. All 20 are let's say there's 10 here on this leg and 10 here on this leg. Now we're going to have five elite skinny dudes, okay, who are decently fast. And they are going to start from back here, and they are going to full throttle sprint and slide under his legs, in between the legs, and they're just gonna bam straight into his dick, okay? No, hear me out. Straight into the balls, okay? Because one thing we know is that the balls are the weak spot. The balls are the weak spot. So they're gonna slide one at a time, bam, 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 straight to the balls, and then they're gonna come back one at a time, bam, bam, bam. So it's like a conveyor belt of just straight to the nuts, okay? And sooner or later, this guy, he's clocking out. The only thing he's got left are his big old arms. You know, his arms are like cannons, and they're all that's holding him up at this point. And that's when we're going to send in the big dudes, okay? So let's see. We got 20. We got 40 dudes used right now. I'm going to go ahead and use another 20. And another, actually, 20 is kind of hard to do on one arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to do about 10 of our strongest dudes are gonna come onto both of these. No, not come. They're gonna beat on it.
Hey, yo!
Damn it, bro. They're gonna punch. They're gonna beat. No, they're gonna box. They're gonna be like boxing on his arms, essentially, so that he gets like a mean Charlie horse. Because there's not like, we can't like stab it. We can't like break his arm. You feel me? There's too much there. So if we just keep beating on it, he's gonna get a mean Charlie horse, and he won't even be able to use those arms anymore. The only problem we have left are his big old jaws, okay? Because one thing we know is gorillas have those big, angry-looking jaws, right? That is a problem. But that's why we attacked from the back of his head, okay? That way he wouldn't be able to get anything in the front. Now, he will possibly try and gnaw on some of these little 5 guys who are sliding underneath. But the good news is, if he gets a single one of them, all we have to do is use one of our extra, let's see, 10, 20. So this is now 60 dudes. We just have to use one. Just one of those guys who died. If one of them died, we can use a leg as a muzzle and just shove it in between his jaw. One of the 15 can come over here, stick it between his jaws so he can't bite on anyone else, and they just use that one leg as just a muzzle so he can't bite anything. And then we just keep beating until he's basically dead, okay? Let's say he lives, we then get, what else is remaining? There's still like 30 guys unused. They can just sit on his neck until it just, you feel me? Like, it's fully possible. They can just, or we just get our like 15 massive lads to just sit on him. Just sit on him. Because sooner or later, he's going to give out, you know? But I think it's possible, and I do think it's possible to do it without anyone dying. Let's say he doesn't even get one of the 5 sliders. I don't think you need the muzzle, because of so much contact to his head, he's not even thinking anymore. He's basically done. Once these 20 start beating on those arms, he's already cooked. There's nothing he's got left. His balls are tapped. He's a waste man, okay? I think if there's any effective way to take out an entire gorilla with 100 men, I only use 60. I only use 60 dudes, okay? And that sounds so crazy. But you get it. Only 60. It only took 60 dudes, and nobody died, and we used no tools at all, okay? All we needed is sweat and muscle, okay? Actually, we needed a couple big guys too, but you feel me? I didn't even need the world's most elite athletes to pull this off. It's very doable. So, at the end of the day, please make sure you like and subscribe if you like this video. Leave a comment down below if you have any other ideas how we could take it out with less than 60 dudes and no casualties. And I'll see all you dudes in the next video. Adios.